Hey everybody, I decided to come back and do another film movie review. One of the old movies. I decided to pick the year that I was born, 1979. So I was just randomly scrolling through and decided to watch a movie called Caligula. Had never heard of it, had no clue what it was. Boy, it was not what I expected at all. The front part of it looked like some old movie from Rome. Definitely had the look of like I don't know, whatever you would think a 70s movie would look like set in the Roman Empire. You know what I mean? As far as like, the front pic or whatever you want to call it, the thumbnail. So I'm like, all right, screw it. Let me just watch this movie and see what it's all about. You know, Clicked it, and it's basically a high production for the 70s. What you would think a Hollywood movie would be back then. It's basically a Hollywood high production type porno. That's basically what it is. I was like, whoa. If you ever wanted to know what one looked like, Caligula. Watch Caligula. Go back, pick the movie Caligula from 1979. So I did some research on it because it caught my attention. I was like, what the heck? It turns out Penthouse, basically the same thing as Playboy, a competitor. I'm not sure if Penthouse is around now or not, but they were a competitor to Playboy. They were behind this movie. Bob Guccione was the guy that was in charge of Penthouse. I think founded Penthouse back then. He cast a bunch of Penthouse pets, and that's what he called his people, pets. I guess similar to Playboy bunnies, Penthouse pets. He cast them as extras in the scenes, and they were real sex scenes. These were not fake Hollywood sex scenes. He filmed real sex scenes and put them in this real Hollywood type movie. It's a pretty intense movie to watch. Seriously, my jaw dropped at certain scenes. I was like, what in the heck am I watching? But from what I gather, the main stars were well-known actors of the time. So when they were recruited under the guise that it was a real Hollywood movie. So they were like, okay, let's do it. You had Malcolm McDowell as the lead, and I'm not too familiar with all these actors. Apparently, they were well known back then. I'm familiar with their names, some of them, but not. I don't know a whole lot about them. Again, like I said, I was born in '79, so I didn't watch this movie when it came out. I didn't know these people. They had Helen Mirren and Peter O'Toole. Again, I've heard their names. I don't know anything more about them really. In my research, I saw or read that they were well known back then, though. But the movie had a lot of controversy. It was released with a lot of controversy. The people that were hired to write and direct the movie, they didn't see eye to eye. So from the get-go, it had problems. In addition, after the film was shot, the director did his thing, cut the movie, was ready to roll, turned it in. Guccione decided he wanted to add some more hardcore sex scenes. I guess he wanted to add them actually during the production. However, the director didn't want to do it. He said no, he refused. So after it was done, Guccione went back, got his Penthouse pets, and they filmed scenes, additional real sex scenes, and added them. So this movie is definitely a very graphic porn. The uncut version has actually been banned in a bunch of countries. I guess after some years passed, some of the countries, removed that ban, but it's still banned in a lot of them. Malcolm McDowell, though, I got to give that guy a lot of credit. Like I said, I don't really know who he is or what other movies he's been in, but man, he played a very intense role. He was the lead role. He played a very intense role. He was Caligula. He was the heir to the throne, and eventually took over the throne. And his acting was real good. I liked his acting. I liked it in that I believed that he was actually this guy Caligula, because he was so convincing in the role. Like, I actually thought this dude is off his rocker. Like, he's crazy. He's a crazy guy. But man, yeah, great actor from what I saw, at least in this role. He plays a sexual deviant. Caligula, the main character, Caesar, He's a sexual deviant. They participate in orgies, basically anything you could think of. They are doing in this movie. Um, there is a rape scene. There's a rape scene that's actually kind of disturbing, a little hard to watch. I mean, they don't show, at least for the rape scene, they don't show exactly like the bad part of it, if you know what I mean. Um, but still, it is pretty tough to watch. But it's very intense movie. You're gonna be appalled by a lot of the things that you see in this movie because there are some things that you're like, what in the hell am I watching? Seriously, they made this in the 70s. Oh my gosh, I don't know why, but you think back, like going further back, things were more wholesome, and society has been more corrupted as time has gone. Well, this proved that wrong because this movie's crazy. I haven't seen a movie like this. Um, so somewhere within all the sex, though, I think the writer and the director did intend to have an actual story, and there is a story in there you can watch and follow. Basically, the story is Caligula, the main guy, is corrupted by the power, right? So he basically murders his family member who's at the beginning of the movie in charge. He wants to be in charge, figures out a way to murder him, figures out a way to take over, um, does so, and then once he has all the power, I mean, not that he wasn't already a little nuts before that, because they show parts of that too, and he's already kind of nuts. But when he gets all the power, boy, watch out. Um, but to follow the exact story, it's very distracting. All the porn that's going on. There's literally porn all over the place, and they're real sex scenes. So they're not the Hollywood stuff. They're real sex scenes. So viewer beware, I guess you could say. In the end, the movie is pretty tough to watch at times. It's a little, like I said, it's a little distracting. There's just a lot of things going on. Seeing someone filled with liquid, and you see his belly kind of growing, and then he explodes at the order of the Caligula of the boss. That's a little disturbing. So, but viewer beware. I keep saying buyer beware because that's a realtor thing, and I'm a realtor. So sorry about that. But viewer beware. Um, if you're if you are the type that enjoys to watch porn set in a Roman style background, then this movie is going to be for you. And it has a lot of high production value to it because it had Hollywood people actually involved that produced a Hollywood type movie. But the Penthouse guy Guccione definitely had his own ideas too because he got a hold of that thing and he put in some porn, straight up porn. Just watch for the guy's balls getting fed to the dogs. That's all I gotta say. There's a scene where that literally happens, and they're actually some pretty mean, impressive-looking dogs. So they were kind of cool. Just gonna drink of my 805 real quick. I love this beer. But yeah, if you watch it, don't watch it. If you do watch it, you're not gonna forget it. Like it, love it. You may hate it, but you're not gonna forget this movie. Again, it's called Caligula, um, released in 1979. I think I read somewhere that they're actually going to do a remake or redo this one and release it here in 2020 or 2021. Can't remember which year, but with the blessing of the director's family, because the director's passed on now, I think they're going to release the director's cut. So that may be a little more tame and maybe for some people that'd be easier to watch. But if you want to get the uncut version, go find it. Go find it. I found it, and it's interesting, unforgettable, for sure. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.